Okay, here. Once we get on these stools, because I'll bring the stools up, once we get on the stools, no, you don't have to take it off because you're going to be holding something. Okay, here, this is what I'm showing you. Turn it towards you, and that can adjust to where you're sitting. The other thing they said we can do is, and we may, is actually move these out of the way because people have trouble when we're seated. So we can just move them behind us, and then we'll have our folders.
Good morning. I'm Betsy Brainerd, a member of your Board of Trustees, and I'd like to ask you to plan to attend a special congregational meeting on Sunday, October 19. You've probably noticed that our Sunday morning services have seen increased attendance over the last year. In order to remain a welcoming congregation, the board has become convinced that moving back to the two services model, which we used until COVID hit, is the best way to go. We are bringing a motion to implement two services to the congregation for a vote on Sunday, October 19th. In order to pass, this motion will require a 2/3 majority. Since last spring, the board has surveyed the congregation and had 2 open discussion sessions. We'll have another open forum discussion on October 12. As currently proposed, the move to 2 services would not launch until April 2026 after Reverend Mike has returned from sabbatical. If you have any questions, concerns, or suggestions, please do plan to attend the next open forum on October 12 or talk to one of the board members. Thank you.
What are you doing here?
Come on, Susan, we're gonna be late.
Oh, I'm not a fan of potlucks. I told you I don't want to go to a soulful potluck dinner.
Well, I signed you up and we're going together. It'll be fun. Plus, we are going to Jan Devers' house. Haven't you always wanted to see inside Jan Devers' house?
Yeah?
I imagine it to be super sleek and modern and open. Ooh, I bet she's a plant lady.
Ooh.
We could make a competition. Who could count the most plants in her house when we get there?
That might make it more interesting. Okay, fine. Going with you sounds better than I had planned to do tonight. Rotating my socks and organizing my garden tools. But what do I bring? I'm such a bad cook. My kitchen timer just says, why bother?
You can break the drinks, that's easy. We can stop on the store on the way there, but none of that off-brand stuff you tend to bring to events. Get the good stuff. We're going to Jan's gorgeous home.
Okay. Do you think someone will bring a Jell-O salad? I love Jell-O salad.
Probably. Hey, why did the potluck dinner turn into a mystery novel?
Why?
Because no one knew who brought the questionable casserole and everyone was too polite to ask. And see. We just want to make sure you understand that no congregants were harmed in the making of this skit. We did communicate with Jan to let her know that we'd be poking a little fun, and she said, not only am I not a plant lady, I only have 2 that are clinging to life, barely. So jokes aside, we are here to ask you to sign up for our October 11th first Soulful Gatherings potluck. We have 7 friends who live in various parts of the city who have agreed to open their homes for a potluck meal. Those are Grace Circlebach, Jan Dever, Jessica Pettigrew, Cynthia Swanson, Rhonda Williamson, Susan Riederer, and Ann Kerrigan.
Each host has chosen which meal they will host, either a brunch, lunch, or dinner. These will be intimate gatherings of 5 to 7 total adults as a way to build smaller community within our larger community. And today is the last day to sign up for our fall potlucks. So please register using the QR code on the screen, which is also available for those at home in your first announced newsletter, or sign up during coffee hour today. Thank you.
Right. Good morning. My name's Christy Worth, and I'm an active part of the 20s to 40s group here. Whoever you are, whomever you love, whether you carry joy or sorrow in your heart, you are welcome here. All people of goodwill are warmly invited to join us on the great journey of the mind, the heart, and the spirit. If this is your first time with us today, please let the offering basket pass you by. Your presence is gift enough. We hope you will join us for coffee and conversation in the community room after the service. We would love to get to know you and answer any questions you have. And if you are in your 20s, 30s, or 40s and are looking for ways to engage with our community, we would love to have you come join some of our events. We have a chat group where we stay in touch with each other. We plan events ranging from potlucks to social justice work to board game nights to this one time we went to a Polar Express event that was absolutely meant for small children. Did not realize that until later, but it was really fun still. This group has been a really important part of my involvement here. I really love the people, I love the events we do, so I'd love to have more people come join us. I will be hanging out at the opportunities table at the back of the community room after the service if you'd like to come chat about our group or learn about many of the other groups you can get involved with. If you're watching online or if you just prefer to say hi digitally, my email address is up there, so you can just shoot me an email too. Please remember to silence your cell phone and other electronic devices. Welcome to worship. Our suggested greeting topic for today is, how long have you been coming to First Unitarian and what keeps you coming back? So please take a moment to greet the people around you.
Good morning, First Unitarian. So good to see you all here this morning. Before we sing our song of welcome, I want to remind you that Resonance services begin again this week. Resonance is our monthly contemplative worship service, first Wednesday of the month at 6 p.m., followed by a potluck supper at 6:30. We've had a hiatus for the summer, so we're back at it. Hope to see you in the sanctuary this Wednesday at 6.
Would you please join us in singing our song of welcome? We are many, we are one. The light of the world is within you. Sacred and worthy is your soul. A place has been made for you.
Nice to see everybody here. I have a confession to make. I'm here because I'm disturbed. Not in the way you might think, but around what's going on in the world today. Jim hears me ranting every day about the incredible garbage that is coming on TV and slimed about. I'm really tired of ranting. I'm also tired of the evil, and I'm really, really scared of tyranny advancing. Our Constitution and our laws are being ignored. In some ways, I've never seen this country so bad. And it's being run and ruined by some of the most powerful and richest people that we know are in our country. The lies, the propaganda, rounding up people like deportations,
The killings and the war in Gaza and Ukraine and Darfur and so many places nobody even talks about. It hurts my heart and my head spins as I hear our elected officials play fast and loose with the truth, and also lies all the time to manipulate people, and the followers actually cheer. So what do? Jim and I have joined protests downtown, and we talk to people at our FUSD table. We invite you all to come the next time we have one. And we try to see if we can help our democracy. But I confess, I really don't know what to do a lot of the time. However, I find that Unitarian values pretty much keep me grounded. So I wind up every day saying them as I'm dusting, which I'm prone not to do, but occasionally a cloth reaches my hand. And when I am dusting, I'm saying these, and I'd like you to say them after me. I am committed to justice and equality. I do believe in searching for the truth. I want to stand up for the worth and dignity of all people and animals on our planet. And I know we are all interconnected. Feel the energy between the two of you and three of you. I know that we're all interconnected and deserving of love and compassion. When we do feel small or isolated, even though we believe in important things, we still face dark days. My friends here on the stage with me hold candles, symbolizing our solidarity and community, and these Unitarian values today, as well as a hope for liberty in all people. It is better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. It is better to light a candle to curse the darkness. Feel that. Feel how much better it is. Hand over heart. It's better to light a candle than it is to face the darkness. It's better to light a candle than it is to face the darkness.
Oh, let us turn our thoughts today to Martin Luther King and recognize that there are ties between us, all men and women living on the earth, ties of hope and love, of sister and brotherhood, that we are bound together in our desire to see the world become a place in which our children can grow free and strong. We are bound together by the task that stands before us and the road that lies ahead. We are bound and we are bound. There is a feeling like the clenching of a fist. There is a hunger in the center of the chest. There is a passage through the darkness and the mist. And though the body sleeps, the heart will never rest.
Shed a little light, oh Lord.
Oh, shed a little light, oh Lord,
So that we can see.
oh,
Just a little light, oh Lord.
shed a little light, oh Lord.
Wanna stand it on up.
Stand it on up,
Stand it on up, oh Lord. Stand on up, Lord. Gonna walk it on down. Shed a little light, oh Lord. Can't get no light from a dollar bill.
oh, can't get no light from a dollar bill.
Don't give me no light from a TV screen.
Oh, no, no.
When I open my eyes, I'm gonna take my fill from the well on the hill.
I know you know what I mean.
Shed a little light, oh Lord.
Oh, shed a light, oh Lord,
So that we can see. Just a little light, oh Lord.
just a little light.
Wanna stand it on up.
Stand it on up,
Stand it on up, Lord. Stand on up, Lord. Wanna walk it on down.
walk it on
Shed a
down.
little light, oh Lord. Shed a little light,
Oh, shed a little light.
Lord.
There is a feeling like the clenching of a fist. There is a hunger in the center of the chest. There is a passage through the darkness and the mist. And though the body sleeps, the heart will never rest. Let us turn our thoughts today to Martin Luther King and recognize that there are ties between us, all men and women living on the earth. Times of hope and love, sister and brotherhood.
Good morning. Where are my friends? Come on down. Today we're doing something different. Instead of a story or a chat, we're going to learn a new song. And our adult friends are going to learn the song too. Autumn, come closer. Come on, Sigrid. There we go. All right, so we're going to learn a new song with all of our friends here at church, and we're going to sing us out to this song once we learn it.
We're going to do a song that welcomes people. And we're going to welcome different kinds of people. One kind of person that doesn't feel welcome all the time here are immigrants. Do you guys know what immigrants are? No? Immigrants are people that come from a different country. Hey, let's see how many immigrants we have in the congregation. Okay? You guys can turn around and look. How many people here, can you raise your hand if you're an immigrant? No, we got a few. Okay, now I bet I can get a few more. How many people here are an immigrant or your parents are immigrants? Oh, there's some more. Oh, okay, let's try one more. I bet I'll get a lot more people this way. Let's see how many we get. How many people here either are immigrants, your parents are immigrants, or your grandparents were immigrants? Look around. Look how many people. Wow. So we're going to welcome the immigrants, all right? Another group that people wanted us, that we're going to welcome. Do you guys know what veterans are? Veterans are people who have been in the military and have protected our country. Let's see how many of those we got, okay? How many people here are veterans? Okay. And there's some veterans here that have really helped us. How many people here have someone in your family, even your extended family, that are veterans? Whoa, look at that. That's almost everyone. Wow. Okay. And we're also going to welcome all different kinds of families. There's people here that are in every different kind of family. So we're going to learn this song, and I've got some signs here that maybe, do you think, can you help us hold them up so people can see them? Cool. Okay. All right. Let's start with immigrants. Yeah. Can you hold this one up? Hold it high. You can stand up if you want. Immigrants are welcome here. All immigrants are welcome here. How I love you as my neighbor. Immigrants are welcome here. Veterans are welcome here. Veterans are welcome here. How I love you as my neighbor. Veterans are welcome here. All families are welcome here. All families are welcome here. How I love you as my neighbor. Families are welcome here. All right. So we want everyone to be welcome at our church. And you know what? This is a song people sometimes sing when we're down at the downtown marching. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to, instead of the way we usually do it, we're going to do it a little different today. We're going to march out singing the All Immigrants Are Welcome Here. Okay? So can we do that? We're going to march out singing All Immigrants Are Welcome Here.
We adjusted our height difference by different stools today, in case you noticed. We thought today we'd share questions that we're grappling with all the time now. And we often hear them from a lot of people. And we thought they might sound familiar to you. So this is what goes on around our house all the time. You want to start?
Well, the number one question has to be, do protests work anymore? Is it outdated in this time of influencers who reach millions?
Well, mass protests, fortunately or unfortunately, get the most press. And let's face it, Trump hates them. And he's also talked about deputizing militias to try to stop them. So he thinks they matter. And imagine, what if protests just go silent? I think people will lose hope.
Okay, so do we still think calling and writing to Congress makes a difference? I mean, the Republicans aren't budging. And the Democrats say they just don't have the votes.
Well, but they still count the calls. They still watch the opinion polls, including Trump's falling approval ratings. They hate having in-person town halls now, and elections are coming and coming and coming.
But some say voting isn't going to matter. I mean, they're gerrymandering, they're suppressing the vote. In fact, Trump has said he's not going to step down in 28, and the Supreme Court probably isn't going to make him.
Well, you're cheery. People don't come to church for this, you know that, right?
Sorry.
Sorry, she's like this sometimes. Dictators always convey that the opposition is corrupt, they are losers, and they have no power. But conceding before we've lost means we're giving up hope.
I've heard people complain that they hate being asked to come to protests, to talk to friends, neighbors, coworkers, even strangers about controversial issues, when they're not activists, and like me, some of them are introverts.
But those deemed activists and extroverts are not enough. We don't have enough people. We all have to stretch, me too, beyond our comfort zones during this, and consider the alternative if we don't.
What about all the emotions stirred up in people? They're so angry after seeing the news. But they're afraid of being in large crowds and being arrested, or people getting violent, or anti-protest violence, shootings, even bombs.
Bombs. Yeah, we've heard that. And that's why we really need people in these movements modeling and teaching nonviolence. And who better than all these universalists? As for the extreme things, that's what creating public terror is about. It amplifies very unlikely events and repeats them over and over until people are paralyzed with fear. They stay quiet, they stay compliant, and they stay home.
And people tell us a lot that they get mad when they see what's happening and they just turn it off. They feel exhausted, anxious, overcommitted, and they can't add anything else to their lives.
And we understand this. We have continued to be challenged, right, to change our lifestyle. I mean, literally, since the election particularly, and to slash our busyness. We listen and we scroll through far less catastrophizing news than we're used to doing. We are more intentional about silence, about nature, about balance in light of the constant insanity. And we acknowledge, though, that we simply can't do everything we used to do, and save democracy is just part of a checklist in an already overextended to-do list.
I guess if we're honest, what motivates us the most is the suffering of people perceived as different from us and that don't have our privileges. We have the choice to not do much because we will be the least impacted. We don't have targets on our back. In fact, we have 401ks, Medicare we hope won't run out, a home, and a great dog.
Named Alfie.
Okay, so we're motivated to care, but why are we doing many things we don't even know will work?
Because we can't know the outcomes, or which kind of public pressure may create cracks in this regime. And it takes time to have a serious impact. The Project 2025 folks and their mentors have been at these agendas for decades. Besides that, through trainings, we know we have to add millions of people to be effective in future boycotts, strikes, bringing things to a halt, and many will go to jail. And maybe not just students, or brown people, or black people, or poor people, maybe some of us. We've only just begun to resist.
And by action, we don't only mean protest, right? Resistance can be through art, music, writing to editors, gathering neighbor groups for discussions, giving support to volunteers and organizers, or mutual aid to those who have been impacted by current cuts. There are many possibilities. People have asked me what's up with the buttons that I make. I'm an introvert, and they're a way to open up conversations with other people, to connect and encourage people to get involved. For some people, putting on a button is the first step in taking a public stance. So I offer bags of buttons to others so people can do the same.
The truth is, we have a lot of tough days with all this happening. Both of us do in different ways. And some days we come up with reasonable answers for our doubts, our fears, our unknowing about the future and our impact, and we've tried to share some of those now. We all know what happens when people keep silent, if we keep our heads down and play safe. And the truth is, we both feel better and are better in community, in solidarity, working for a vision of the world we believe in and for things that aren't just about ourselves.
Broadening our caring and our agency tamps down despair and depression, and it bolsters courage and compassion, something that a writer, Joanna Macy, has called active hope. In fact, we invite you from 12 to 1 today to join us back here for conversation together about having hope and being in action in the midst of things sometimes feeling like they're falling apart. We hope you'll join us. Also, after the service, please check out the Freedom of Speech mural with artist Nina Nadeau and add your touches to this community space. We also asked a few people in the congregation to share what it's been like for them being involved in this work.
My name is Steve Smithers.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah. Stand up.
Thank you. Sorry.
My name's Steve Smithers. Renee and I have been members of First Unitarian since 1985. I'm an active member of our Democracy Action team. They have been doing amazing work, but we need more folks on board. I believe we can make a difference by showing up in the fight to save our democracy. Let's be honest here. We have one hell of a fight in front of us. Every day we are seeing new challenges and new threats to the beliefs we hold so strongly. My emotion, every morning Renee sees it, is anger and spending too much time on the news. The good news is that we're seeing more and more people showing up and acting on their belief that our democracy is worth fighting for. The Save Democracy movement is happening across this country. We see it every day. It's getting stronger. To be a part of this requires two things: hope and courage. UUs across the Front Range are organizing. We are approaching other denominations to join the fight. With all our help, we can make a difference. Saturday, October 18th, is the next major No Kings protest. FUSD will be gathering at the state capitol west of the steps. Please show up. Let your voice be heard. You can make a difference. I believe this with all my heart. I believe it's noon, Paul? Yep. Noon. It'll come noon to 4, and there'll be 2 more just now.
Hello, everybody. I'm Paul Reeder, and I've been a Unitarian for 40 years, and I keep coming back because of our core values, because we believe in the inherent dignity and worth of all, and I personally get up every day and I resent our values being trampled on by this, what I call the Trump terrorist team. They are domestic terrorists. That's my personal view. And I think what we have to do is stand up and fight back. And yes, I'm with you, yeah. And we are doing so, and it's a growing movement. And Okay, I am going to end with a quote from Bell Hooks, one of my favorite authors. And I have to have some hope. And I believe our core values are what we're fighting for. And on your handout, you'll see the Unitarian Universalist values that we share. And on the other side, a little commitment card that you might want to put by your computer or phone. Okay, here's the way Bell Hooks puts it. Love is the foundation of any real democracy. When authoritarian rises, when hatred grows, we are called to defend our democracy by choosing to love over domination, by choosing justice over fear. It's precisely in these moments of greatest threat that the spirit of democracy must burn brightest. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Dion Graves, and this is so not me, but I'm going to speak anyway. I am a proud Black American. Every day I am fearful, angry, or both. I'm fearful for my children and my grandchildren's future. It took 17 generations for my children to be the first generation in my family born to be able to fully exercise their rights in this democratic process. I fear that my grandchildren are in danger of losing it all. I'm angry because my family has been in this country for over 400 years. They fought in the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, World War I and II, and the Korean War, only to find the freedoms that they fought for others did not extend to them. And against great odds, they persevered. They became doctors, business owners, farmers, educators, but often to see it taken away. And yet, against all obstacles, they rose up and started again. Now, just 60 years after finally acquiring the opportunities to fully and legitimately exercise our democratic rights, these rights are being systematically removed. How many times do we have to march? How many times do we have to protest? Like my ancestors whose shoulders I stand on, I will rise again and again and 1,000 times more. Thank you.
Morning. I'm Eddie Carroll. I'm very happy to be here in this small part of today's service. This kind of service is why I love coming here to First Unitarian. I was planning on doing the following, and it's so funny because the question I was asked when we were doing a hi, get to know each other before the service, is the reflection I was going to do today for the offertory. So what got me here and what keeps me here? In the 90s, I was a member of First Universalist. And at the time that this congregation ministers, Nan and Jim Hobart, retired, Stephen Papa, who was my minister at First Universalist, got offered a different position in Pennsylvania and left. So both churches were in search for new ministers. I was trained in the late 90s by the UUA to do a workshop called Beyond Categorical Thinking. It's a workshop to get the congregation to look at biases that they might have and their tunnel vision they might get about what's the perfect minister for their congregation. And so for over 25 years, I've been doing these workshops all over Canada and the US. If I'm getting 15% of the congregation, I'm doing well. If I'm getting 20% of the congregation, I'm doing extraordinarily well. I was asked to do the Beyond Categorical Thinking workshop for this congregation when it was in search for its new minister. Well over half the congregation showed up. I think it was 60 or 70% of the membership at that time came to my workshop. And I had to make a lot of extra copies because I wasn't prepared for that many people. And it blew me away. I already knew this congregation well. I knew it was a congregation that wasn't satisfied with writing a check and was only satisfied by getting their hands dirty. So it was always has been known as the social justice, get yourself and get your hands dirty and take risk. That was a catalyst for me to consider transferring my membership from First Universalist to First Unitarian, which I did. And I've never been disappointed. This congregation has had people in sanctuary living in our building during the first Trump administration. This congregation stood up publicly for my right to marry my husband. This congregation was a pilot congregation for many of the early anti-racist workshops that were developed for the UUA for our congregations. So again and again and again, this congregation has stood up, took risks, became vulnerable, and had their voice. And in that spirit of this congregation's voice, I invite you to be generous as the collection plates are passed today. And for those at home, you know what you need to do in order to make a contribution as well. And thank you.
I need a change I can believe in. I need a change that I can feel. No, I won't give up and I won't give in. I need some change that's real. I need some peace, don't want the killing. I need some peace that I can feel. No, I won't give up, man, I won't give in. I need some peace that's real. I need some power to build my future. I need some power that I can feel. And I won't give up and I won't give in. I need some power that's real. real. I need some hope. I need some that's hope. Real. That's real. I need some power. I need some that's power. Real. That's real. I need some peace. I need some that's peace. That's real. I need some change. That's real. That's real. That's real. That's real.
Now, in some churches, they do what's called a responsive reading. And today we wanted to do something a little different with you, which would be a responsive riffing. This comes from somebody that's kind of been lost in our history, unfortunately, and I'd like to reintroduce her. She wrote a book called Sister Outsider. Her name is Audre Lorde. She was, oh good, thank you, a black woman, lesbian, feminist, who also got breast cancer, who wrote about all of it when no one was writing about a lot of it in the 60s and 70s. She came up with a phrase that a lot of us know well, and it's so powerful to me. I think about it because what we're hearing today a lot is, we have to be like them. We have to beat them at their own game. And Audre Lorde said to the women of her day, do not act like all the men you know and think that that will create a different world. The phrase that she used was, you can't bring down the master's house while using the master's tools. So I'm going to say that and you're going to say it back. You can't bring down the master's house while using the master's tools, okay? So we're going to have a little background, a little beat, and we'll set Mike up because he'll be ready after this, right? Okay, here we go. Well, you can't bring down the master's house by using the master's tools. We know that hate doesn't make us great, so try a golden rule. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's how it's got to be. Because a world that works for everyone creates no enemies. Let's do that again. For a world that works for everyone creates no enemies.
Good morning, First Unitarian. I'm going to invite you, if you feel like it, to stand up and stretch for a second. In case it isn't clear, we're going to go a little long today. The sermon's not going to be especially long, but I am going to do the whole thing. Before I do that, I need to call your attention to a couple things. I want to note that Julia Johns was hospitalized on Friday. She had emergency surgery, but she's back home now. The prognosis is good. I want to let you know that Geraldine Barrows is out of the hospital and home. And I want to let you know that Michael DeSantis, our ministerial resident for the next 9 months or so, passed their ministerial fellowship committee meeting on Friday. It's a big deal. 4 years of preparation, internships, clinical pastoral education, psychological evaluations, on and on. It's a big deal. Congratulations, Michael. I welcome you as a colleague. And lastly, I have to note, I am pretty angry and upset this morning. You probably haven't seen it yet, but just this morning, there was a shooting in a church in Michigan. I don't know how many were wounded or killed. I know that church, as of about half an hour ago, was burning to the ground. And I don't know anything about who the shooter was or how that fire started yet. I'm sure those details will be forthcoming. But I know this, I know violence is not the answer, and there's too damn many guns. And I'm just going to use this opportunity, not because I want to or take any joy in it whatsoever, but I'm just going to take this moment and remind you that there are 2 exits to this room. I have no reason to think you need to know this right now. 0, but I'm just going to remind you. Those double doors right there take you to a brief hallway, and then through another set of double doors that take you out onto Lafayette Street. And of course, the exit at the back of the sanctuary. And you should know, if you go out the back of the sanctuary, you can go either direction to exit the building. You can go out the way you almost certainly came in, or just past the kitchen, there's another doorway that lets you out into the alley. Heaven forbid we need to exit this room in a hurry, but if we do, do so quickly, do so calmly, do so respectfully, and just take the closest one to you. When people who belong to the Black Lives Matter movement gather, they often begin and end those gatherings with words by Assata Shakur, who, it just so happened, passed away just this past week in Cuba. She was 78 years old. The words are as follows, and I'm going to invite you to say them with me. It's pretty easy to learn. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Let's try that all together. It's our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love and protect each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. The first time I heard that chant, I was in a crowd of about 500 or so people. And those words started quietly and then they rose like thunder. This was in the weeks after Michael Brown was murdered in Ferguson, Missouri, and I was at a community action organized by the Denver Freedom Riders, which later morphed into Black Lives Matter 5280. That organization, by the way, was born at a meeting in our basement. At that larger meeting of 500 or so people, we had just heard testimony from about 6 people right here in Denver who had been personal victims of police brutality or whose spouses or children had been killed by Denver police. The pain and the outrage were raw. The way I remember it, there was a moment in that rawness that no one really knew how to fill. The point had been made plain. The lives and the surviving bodies were right there in front of us. Tears were being shed for the living and for the dead. And the next speaker, who was supposed to transition to the next portion of the programming, got to the microphone, opened her mouth to speak, and then stopped, sensing correctly that moment of raw woundedness and outrage just needed to be for a minute, needed to linger in honor of the emotions and the lives and the love and the pain. And I don't know who started the chant. I had not heard it before. I did not know at that time its author or its history, but for that room at that time, it was precisely the right response. It was centering, it was empowering, it was angry, it was healing. It was a battle cry it was also a cry of the wounded, or as my friend Theo likes to say, it was everything. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. I've heard it many times since then, and it gets me every time. So, let us not pretend for one moment that this particular room of people, and certainly not me, has experienced the kind of direct bodily institutional abuse that those black activists and victims lived through, far too often are still living through. I'm not making an equivalency here. I am somewhat unabashedly, perhaps inappropriately, appropriating a legitimate sentiment expressed at that meeting and at many others since then. A sentiment that I hope will be helpful as this group, us, assess how we individually and collectively might faithfully respond to what is happening around us and to us, the rapid transformation of our country into a fascist totalitarian kleptocracy. And a touch of context, I think, is necessary. Because if we're honest, it's always been a kleptocracy. Since the moment Europeans stepped foot on this continent, stolen land, stolen resources, stolen lives are what built this country, built its economy, built its culture, built its government. We've never been a true democracy, ever. And white supremacy has been the motive and the motif since the beginning. Whether expressed at the point of a gun, at the end of a chain, or in the systems that fund public education, or 100 other ways. The thing about chains, though, is that chains are attached at both ends. And the truth is that none of us are free until all of us are free. In the words of Krishnamurti, not quoted nearly often enough in my opinion, it is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. White liberals, typically, have sought to make change, social, economic, educational, and so on, through the mechanisms of government, through legislation, laws, policies, and so on. And certainly we will try to do that the next time we have an opportunity to vote, if indeed such an opportunity is forthcoming. White liberals also have this, I'll just be blunt, white liberals also have this tendency of gathering to talk about the liberation and the empowerment of people they've never met. People who are not actually at the table with them as they do that plotting. That is a really unfortunate tendency that white liberals have, and then they wonder, why are there these issues of trust? But white liberals typically seek to make change through the institution of government. And surely we realize that the democratic process we have generally relied upon is broken. Broken. Both parties beholden to deep pocket industries and banks. The current administration unabashedly using every tool at its disposal to dismantle the social and political advances of the past 100 years, and they're succeeding. With the willing assistance of a spineless Congress and a partisan Supreme Court. In the Federalist Papers, James Madison famously wrote, "What is government itself but the greatest of all reflections on human nature? If men were angels, no government would be necessary. In framing a government which is to be administered by men, over men, the great difficulty lies in this. You must first enable the government to control the governed, and in the next place, oblige it to control itself." I believe James Madison would agree on many levels for many years, especially now we are failing miserably at the government controlling itself. I'm not telling you anything you don't know if you have been paying attention. And because that is true, it is reasonable. And at this moment, arguably the only option available, to seek social justice through non-government actions. Through organizations, communities, congregations, unions, neighborhoods, or coalitions that are not funded or dependent on the national government. I'm not saying to abandon the government project entirely. I am saying that at this moment, the one we're living through, hanging on to the hope or the illusion that the federal government might somehow magically come to its senses and restrain itself is not a good bet. This administration does not share, and does not care about the values that we hold dear. I was reminded of a short poem by Danny Brick. I know. If you could, you would walk with Jesus. You would march with King, maybe assassinate Hitler, at least hide Jews in your basement. It would all be clear to you. But people then, just like you, were baffled, had bills to pay, and children they didn't understand, and they too were so desperate for normalcy, they made anything normal. Even turning everything inside out, even killing. And it's easy. For turning the other cheek to be looking the other way, for walking to be talking, and they hid in their houses and watched it on television when they had television, and they wrung their hands or didn't, and your hands are just like theirs, lined, permeable, small, and you would follow Caesar and quote McCarthy and Hoover, and you would want to make Germany great again because you are afraid and your parents are sick and your job pays nothing, and where's your dignity? Just a little dignity, and those kids sitting down in the highway and chaining themselves to buildings, what's their problem? And that kid, that's King. And this is Selma and Berlin and Jerusalem. Now is when they need you to be brave. Now is when we need you to go back and forget everything you know and give up the things you're chained to and make it look so easy in your grandkids' history books. They should still have them then. Now is when it will all be clear to them. It needs to be said, that all of our sacred traditions hold a deeper vision of justice than anything we have ever seen or likely will see from any government. In Hebrew scripture, the word for justice, tzedek, is not just a legal procedure, it is relational integrity. Relational integrity. It's the healing of what has been harmed, the righting of what has gone off course. Jesus, too, challenged the kind of legalism that only masked cruelty. It was happening in his day, too. He healed on the Sabbath and touched the untouchable and confronted the power systems that pretended righteousness while crucifying the innocent. The Quran teaches that Allah commands justice, udul in Arabic, compassion and generosity, holding all to account with mercy and equity. Buddhism teaches that when attachment to domination overwhelms right relationship, the result can only be suffering. Every lineage, the message is clear. Justice is sacred. Doing justice is a sacrament. Creating justice is holy work. Not because it props up power, but because it protects life, creates the conditions for dignity, is a requirement, a prerequisite, essential for freedom and for peace. I submit to you, democracy is not about who can shout the loudest or have the best sound bites or control the media. Democracy is about showing up for each other, for your neighbors, for your community, and the shared spaces that hold us together. Patriotism in a democracy is not about who you exclude. Patriotism in a democracy is about what you can build together and who you refuse to leave behind. And in that sense, I'll tell you, I don't really want to rebuild what we had before. Amen? I understand why over half the electorate voted in a party that promised to tear all that down. I personally don't think they fully understood what authoritarianism looks like or what it means for their lives. But I promise you we will not change their minds by shouting at them. I'm going to suggest we work towards transforming democracy, not just salvaging the woefully dysfunctional model that we pretended that was sort of working. And I'm going to suggest that right now, given what we're living through, that the best way we can do that right now is by investing locally. Investing our time and our resources, this is an old phrase, but it's a good one, in civic infrastructure. Civic infrastructure. Supporting local organizations that build trust, not division. I'm talking about libraries and mutual aid groups and community centers and labor cooperatives and communities of faith. I'm talking about creating spaces where people participate in shared projects that don't rely on a political affiliation, like repairing parks, planting gardens, running food banks, mentoring kids, making sure schools have what they need, cleaning up the garbage on freeways and trails. Transforming democracy also means widening the circle of belonging. Authoritarian movements, as we see every day, draw power by narrowing it, by telling us who counts and who does not. Who belongs and who must be cast out. But nothing could be more obvious, at least to me, than that we need a deeper ethic. A deeper ethic that proudly and vocally recognizes the interdependence of all people and includes the living world, non-human world, that we all depend upon, whether we're aware of it or not. A culture grounded in mutuality, reciprocity, and care across lines of class and faith and geography and species. This, I submit to you, is not idealism. This, I submit to you, such a vision is not only faithful, I submit to you, it's simply necessary, required. Ever sharper divisions will not take us anywhere worth going to. Can I get an amen? Amen. I submit that means a shift, an intentional shift in what we reward culturally, socially, even economically. The information economy rewards outrage and spectacle as fleeting as the wind. But social capital, right relationship, is what gives life its real meaning. Let's elevate those who mediate. Let's elevate those who mentor, those who build, those who heal, those who embody the kind of society that we say we want to have. Democracy thrives only when we practice it. It withers when we stop showing up. If we want to resist authoritarian narratives, national leaders are not going to save us. A more just society will be built from the ground up, not as an intellectual abstraction, but as a lived experience. In your eyes, in your body, in your lives, in your relationships, in your homes, in your families, in your neighborhoods, in your workplaces, in your coffee shops. Not long after last year's election, we had a workshop in this room that was about hope. It was running pretty low that day. And the consensus in that room was that hope is not passive. Hope is doing, creating, relating, working, active, engaged, pushing and pulling on the world around us in whatever way is available. The only thing truly hopeless is sitting on the sidelines. There was a bumper sticker years ago. It said, "Jesus is coming. Look busy." One last thing. I submit to you that most people of every political persuasion, right in this very moment, even if they don't articulate their thoughts this way, are just trying to make sense of this world that no longer feels coherent, that they no longer understand, that they look around and don't see themselves in. I suggest that the challenge from here is not persuasion. It's not. I submit that the challenge is going to be providing another path to belonging. A different path to belonging. Does that make sense? The battle being fought really is over meaning and who belongs, and who decides, and what kind of future those decisions create. So to meet this moment, we need, I'm afraid, much more than policy proposals. We need a public narrative rooted in dignity and care and shared responsibility and justice. The vision is out there. It's out there. It is scattered across movements and communities, a million everyday acts of solidarity that I know many in this room work every day to create and do. The vision is here. It's in this room. It's in our hearts. It's in your beautiful faces. It is in your beautiful bodies and your beautiful souls. The vision is here. You can start here. You can start today. Talk to some of our members and our organizers. Talk to some of our healers and builders. Better yet, be one of our healers and our builders. It's our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love and protect each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Thank you.
Would you rise in body and or spirit and join us in singing our hymn, Building a New Way? We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way, feeling stronger every day. We are building a new way. We are working. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. Hate and greed and jealousy. We are working to be free. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. Start with love, that is the seed. We can feed our every need. Peace and freedom. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Without these, this world will die. Peace and freedom is our cry. Amen. Would you join us to sing our closing affirmation? Behind all our differences and beneath our diversity, there is a unity that makes us one and binds us forever together throughout all time, through life and death and the space between the stars, throughout all time, through life and death between the stars.
Be noble, for you come from the stars. Be humble, for you are made of the earth. And be kind, for you belong to each other. That's the way it is, and always will be. Amen.
So did you think we were going to let you get out of here the normal way? We let the kids go out singing, and we'd like you to do the same. So we're going to go out to Eyes on the Prize. Do we have the words? Keep your eyes on the prize, keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. We're going to start from the front. And Nancy's going to lead us out, and people are going to lead us from that direction and that direction. It is powerful to sing, it is powerful to march, and it is most powerful to sing and march. Okay? Ready? Keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on, and those aren't the words. Keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on, and you need two hold-ons here. Hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Oh, let's start moving now. Well, the one thing we did right was the day we started to fight. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Keep your one thing we did right was the day we started to fight. They're waiting for you, buddy. Eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Eyes on the prize. Hold on. Oh, the one thing we did right was the day we started to fight. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Oh, the one thing we did right was the day we started to fight. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Oh, the one thing we did right was the day we started to fight. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. You guys go this way. Oh, the one thing we did right was the day we started to fight. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Oh, the one thing we did right was the